Hi everyone. So I decided to show you some of the fragrances that I have been really loving lately. And I just noticed that all of these three are actually vintage fragrances. So I just want to start with the first one, which is Amarige by Givenchy. I do have a tester bottle here, so it unfortunately came without a cap, and I have pretty good luck when purchasing testers. I think this is actually the only fragrance that I purchased as a tester that came without a cap. I honestly I feel like there should be another one, but I cannot remember. But I'm honestly a little bit upset because this bottle is one of my favorite designs, and I would really love to have a cap for it because I do love the cap as well, and it would just be, prettier to have it on to have it on the dresser and stuff. And this is one of my favorite bottles to display, or it would be, and I honestly don't do it now because I don't have a cap. And I know it's silly, but I would really love to have a cap for this bottle. But Amarige is the word Amarige means mariage. It's I feel like it's called an anagram, and it's from the word mariage. So marriage in English is mariage, is a French word. And this has been a fragrance that I've loved for very, 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 very long time. It's honestly one of the first fragrances when I started getting into vintage. If we don't count the vintage fragrances that I was exposed to as a child, that would, later when I was adult, became vintage. I don't think I smelled this when I was a child. And when I started, like a few years ago, I started discovering more and more vintage perfumes because I just was not satisfied with the new releases, and I was not able to try as many of niche fragrances. So I found a whole new world within vintage perfumes because they all smell unique. They have character, their own creations. They're like fragrances that make me feel or question or inspire me. And I found my little new, like a whole new world within vintage fragrances, and I never looked back, and I'm still very much into them. And Amarige was one of the first because it felt very safe. I remember reading the reviews and looking at the notes, and it felt very safe, because I was still a little bit unsure. And this felt very safe because, as you can see on the back, it actually says floral. So can you see that? Floral, not even woody floral or I don't know, musky floral. It's floral, and it's very much so. To me, it's predominantly gardenia, tuberose, and mimosa. It's a very strong, like, sweetness and a little bit of powderiness from mimosa. And then you also have spicy and woody notes. And also on the top with the flowers, you have sweet peach and apricot. And to me, also a little bit of ylang ylang, actually quite strong. It depends on the day, but I do also get like almost a little bit indolic ylang ylang from time to time, but the indols in here mix with the spices and the woods, and it just makes a very, very beautiful base for the florals and the fruity notes, and the sweetness to shine. So this is one of my favorite perfumes, and I know I say that. I mean, I will probably say that for every fragrance, but I do all of the fragrances that I have, and I'm inspired enough to talk about them. They are my favorites, so that's just how it is. But I wish I had a cap. So this is the first one. I love Amarige all year round. Maybe the least in cold, like in if I love it in the winter as well, but I have to be inside and I have to be warm. If I'm going to be out and it's going to be very, very cool, it's not my favorite, just because I don't think the sweet notes and the floral notes develop as beautifully. But and it's kind of sharp and spicy in the very cold weather. But besides that, it's beautiful, and I do especially love it in the summer. So the first one is Amarige. The next one, okay, let's do this one. This is the next perfume, and this is 24 Faubourg by Hermes. This was my grandma's fragrance, and this is the eau de toilette version. I'm pretty sure she had maybe both at one point. I am looking forward to actually purchasing an eau de parfum of this as well. But this is again this is predominantly a gardenia and tuberose, but this is a very, very beautiful, I want to say the most elegant gardenia fragrance. I have a lot of gardenia and in general like white floral perfumes, and I tried a lot of them because for a while, and still I would say white floral and floral fragrances in general are my favorite. Beside, I would say still, but I do also now really love like spicy, patchouli, ambery, like incense, that type of perfumes as well. So they're kind of a tie. It's a tie between floral and those type of ambery kind of scents. But this is a beautiful, elegant gardenia, and the backbone of this perfume is hyacinth. Hyacinth, I think, makes perfume very, very elegant and upscale. I don't really smell, it's when I say elegant and upscale, that's of course going to be, we all have our own definition of what's elegant and upscale, but to me, for some reason, white florals very often can give off that vibe, but especially with hyacinth, which is a floral that I don't have as many fragrances with a very strong hyacinth note. I think it's quite rare, and especially in more modern perfumes. But in vintage, it's, I guess, I don't think a lot of vintage fragrances with hyacinth, but in this, it's quite prominent. You can definitely smell it, and it blends with gardenia so well, so well. This is very beautiful, so beautiful, and very, very potent. I would say both of these are very potent, but that's kind of, again, a common. It's not always, but it's more common within vintage perfumes, I think, that they're more strong. So you can spray like one spray to, kind of tone it down. And I do tend to spray less. Um, I used to when I was younger, when I was a teenager and stuff, I would spray like half a bottle in one go. But now I'm more subtle with perfume. It's just how I like it. I feel like my perception of fragrance lasts longer, or I can smell it longer on me if I don't overspray. But you learn that with time, I guess. So again, the bottle, it's very beautiful, and I treat this almost as pure perfume. It's so strong. It's so potent. And I still want to try the eau de parfum because apparently this one also has quite a citrusy opening, and the citrus and the kind of like a green notes as well, and the citrus and green notes do last quite a while. And the eau de parfum apparently is basically very much similar, but more vanilla and amber. So I do want to try it, and I will do a comparison. So I hope I can get it soon, the eau de parfum version. But yeah, this is the eau de toilette, beautiful for the summer. But again, it's a given because it's a white floral and it's a gardenia, and of course it's going to be very, very beautiful for the summer. Okay, so the last one, it's again a floral perfume, but it's a little bit more powdery. And while these two are white floral, Paris by YSL, it's all about rose and violet. This is the eau de toilette. The eau de toilette has pink, like this part of the cap, it's pink. Eau de parfum, it's gold. I had eau de parfum as well. It's kind of hard to find nowadays, and I would love to get it again because to me they're different enough. But I already mentioned, when I love a scent, I love to have it in different formulas, and I think it's worth it. To me, they're different enough. Here, the eau de parfum, it's all about the rose, but it's all equally about violet, and it has almost like a dewy and green opening. And I think, well, I would say that the greenness and like the dewy freshness lasts quite a while. But then it's also very sweet and powdery. It's almost like a Turkish delight type of sweetness. And eau de parfum, it's all about that. It's all about the Turkish delight, sweetness, powdery, vanilla, more rose. Well, quite rose and violet, but definitely not as green. I understand how some people would say this is a little bit sharp, especially in the opening, but to me, it's absolutely beautiful. And I have to end the video here because I have to only make 15-minute long videos. So these are the fragrances that I am absolutely loving right now, and please share if you like any of those or what are your thoughts on them. And if you have any questions, I will answer. And thank you for watching.